All right, I'm going to show you how to use Acal using our 783 controller. Here is your home screen of Acal. Close this down, you can see you have your calibration center. Here's where you can set up your calibrations. So here I'm going to be doing a pressure calibration. So select that. It gives you your options, so you can do a dial gauge, a contact, digital gauge, transmitters, pressure switches. In this case, I'm going to be doing a digital pressure gauge, so I'm going to select that. It's talking to the 793 controller, and it's coming up here ready to start our calibration. So here it has my 783 controller listed, and now it's asking me to add a DUT, so a device under test. So I have some different options here. If I'm just going to add a new unit, I can hit add unit. It pops up here with this information field where you have to put in all of your data on your gauge. So you can enter your serial number. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. A model number if you have it. So you can just put it as a 1, 2, 3, 4 gauge. DUT name. So here we have a lot of Additel ones. You can add them as you want. So that's kind of your basic information on your gauge. Below you have your DUT information. So this is your pressure type, whether you're doing gauge, absolute, or pressure. Your accuracy, so 0.02%. If you need to change this, you can. You can even do a custom if you want. Here's the range of the gauge. So we're doing 0 to 300, and then your resolution. So if you need to increase this, you can do that here. You can enter in the last calibration date, so we can put today's date, whatever that should be, and then cal cycle. So right now it's set for every 12 months. So this is telling you it'll be due 12/5 of 2025. And then here you'd hit cal profile, and it would come up with your set points. So here is the 3 points. This is what I had set up on the previous test. If you want to add points, you can hit this add, or you can do this division. Let's say you want to do 5 points, and then it'll automatically divide them out, and you just hit OK. Now here's my 5 points. For this test, I'm just going to do 3. I can remove points here. Up top, you can see it says round trip, so you can do one way or round trip. I suggest going round trip because it'll calculate hysteresis for you. So you can just hit OK. So if this all looks good, you can just hit save. Comes up here, make sure everything looks good, and you notice the start test is flashing, so we would hit start test. So the calibration is started. Takes a second for it to get going here. So here's our first set point is 0. It comes up, it has your module here, your controller. Once it stabilizes, it comes up and says, ask you to put in your data point. So here I have my gauge. I would just look at my gauge. Okay, I could add points here. So, or if I wanted to type something in, we can just do 1. But I'll just do with this too. Once you have your set point here, this is for the DUT. So you notice it says DUT here. You say yes. And then it's going to go to the next set point. So it's 150. And here's what the controller is reading right now. You can see that on the screen. Once it stabilizes, it's going to come up and ask you to do the same thing. So we can just add some points here. Yes. I'm going to continue to let it run. So 300. I'm just putting some points in here just so you guys can have a good visual of how it works. So you can see as points fail, because it was outside of its specification. So here's your tolerances. It gives you a red X letting you know, like, hey, this is not good. So since we did round trip, and if you notice down below, it gives you a hysteresis calculation and your max error. So once the test is finished, it'll Okay, so test is complete. It gives you some options here, so you can look at your Cal record. So if you want to view your data here, you can come in here, make sure everything's correct. It has all your basic information. And then here's your data points. So notice this is for the as found. So if this all looks good, you can just hit quit. Now, if you do make an adjustment, so you can save this, and if you make an adjustment to the gauge immediately, you can actually just hit take as left and it'll rerun the test and save that as left. But if the data was good and you wanted to just use it as found as left, you can click this button, and here it shows you as found and then as left results, and they're going to be the same. If I went back into this Cal record, it now shows it as found as left, and so you have the same data here. And then if this was bad here, you can also delete it. So let's say I didn't like that. I'm gonna hit yes, I'm gonna delete that as data, and then I can just hit save, and then just hit quit. And then here you can also print certificate. You can view the certificate. So if I click the certificate, it's going to come up and show, hey, here's Acal certificate. It has all of, zip in a little bit, your gauge information, manufacturer. So this is all the information you put in. Here it has calibration results, hysteresis, and then here's your data. And so it has all of your data information here, and then it has a nice little graph. So this report can be customized. It's an Excel-based template, so you can go in and just edit the template. You can put your logo here. If you want to change some of these fields, you can do that, and we're happy to show you how to do that. So if this looks good, you can export it as a PDF, close it out. I'm just going to close this down. So if everything looks good on this test, we can hit close, and then I can hit close here. So back to the main page under the data center. So all this information is stored under the data center. So I can go in here and look at digital pressure gauge, and then I think this is the right one. So all these fields are adjustable. 1, 2, 3. Let's find it. 0 to 300. Yeah, it has all the calibration date on it's 12/6. So this is our gauge. So if I wanted to pull, if I double click on this, I can go in and look at this data and see, yeah, it's the same one. And then I can also generate certificates here. And then it'll also be stored here under the DUT, so your DUT center, and here's the gauge that we have. So you'll have it, and you can even sort this by pressure transmitters, all that information. So, and then back to the home screen, and then I can go back through and rerun a calibration as well. So, all right, thank you.